guys. So today I started working on a project. Had an exhaust leak on my my old Chevy 292 and my K30 pickup, and I started to I got the intake manifold taken out, and I found where the leak was coming from, and found a busted off exhaust stud. God knows how long it was there for, but so I started to take it out. And I just figured I would take you guys through the steps that I'm going to use to try to hopefully extract this bolt. The truck's it's an 82. It's got a 292 straight 6 inline in it, and we'll see if I can get this thing taken out. All right. So what I'm going to do today is this is the culprit right here. This is off the exhaust manifold. This goes to the intake heat riser. So as you can tell, I don't know if the camera really does it any justice, but it's actually below the surface. So I'd already started to clean this off a little bit, but what I'm going to end up doing is using my welder. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my MAPP gas torch, just a regular old Bernzomatic torch. I'm going to heat it up, and I'm going to shock it with some water, and hopefully the broken off stud will contract at a different rate than the cast iron will, and once it shrinks up, then I'll get in there and I'll clean this off with a carbide burr that I just put on the tip of my drill, and do that 3-4 times, and then hit it with a welder, and we'll see what happens. All right, so on this particular contraption, on the bottom side of it, I can't get to it because it's bottomed out, just like this stud right here. It was the same thing, I guess. I never saw it, but I could only assume it was a stud because this side over here had a stud as well. So I'm not able to just pound that sucker out. Excuse me. I'm not able to just pound that thing out and put a nut on the back side. So a nut and bolt is out of the question. So that's why I'm going this route. So now all I'm going to do is just hit it with a carbide burr. That way I can get good adhesion with my welder, and hopefully it'll all come apart. I'll be able to work that sucker out. But I wanted to, number one, I wanted to use the water to get the metal to shrink. Since the cast iron is thicker, and it's made of a different material than the bolt or the stud, whatever, then what I'm hoping for is that the nut on the inside will shrink faster than the cast iron will, and then that will pull the rust away from each other. So now we'll just hit it with a carbide burr just to clean it up. Try not to damage the threads. Try to take it easy on it. All I'm trying to do is get to the middle of it a little bit, not damage the threads on the manifold. We'll see what happens. So I got a little bit there, you can see. And I think I'm gonna be about good with that. Now I gotta get my welder set up. All right, so you don't have to have a TIG. You can do this with a MIG. You just want to slowly rock it back and forth because you're trying to break loose almost 40 years worth of rust and buildup on this thing, and it's actually broken free. I just think that slow and steady is going to win the race on this one. You don't want to force it. It's kind of like working a tap, you know. It probably wouldn't hurt to squirt some PB Blaster down inside of there, but yeah, it's working anyway. But I see people that, you know, I've seen the technique where you put wax on it and you know, weld a nut on there, whatever. It's never worked for me. I can tell you that. Anytime I weld a nut on there, it just freaking, the nut just comes off. For whatever reason, I can't ever get good adhesion. Maybe it works better with a MIG welder. I don't know. I don't have a MIG welder. I've tried to MIG weld before, you know, once or twice, but I'm not proficient with it by any means. Not quite yet. But I think the key is mostly just hitting it and shrinking it with the water and get the difference in cool down. You also got to be careful that cooling down cast iron like that, you can crack it. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's actually a crack right there. But that was there before, and I don't really care about this manifold. I just don't want to spend a bunch of money on it. So I'm trying to salvage it. Eventually I plan on putting a different engine in there. But that exhaust leak was terrible. Yeah, I'm not forcing it. I'm not doing anything crazy. I just want to get this sucker out of here. I've got all day to do this. There we go. That's it. Got that sucker out. So now I'm gonna figure out what thread this is. So I went to AutoZone, picked this sucker up, and it's just a thread chaser kit. That way I can clean this up. I'll be able to go down and buy another bolt for it. I'll be good to go. So it looks like it's a 3/8. Nope. Maybe 7/16. 7/16. So it's metric. Am I not the first one? I don't know that I'm the first one to get in there. Man, those threads are hammered. You see these threads? So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to salvage that. That's pretty bad. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Alright, so it looks like it's 7/16 by 14. So I hit a little bit of PB Blaster down in there. Get started. This kit's, it's pretty expensive, but it's unloanable, so I'll be able to just take it back, get my money back once I'm done with it. But I couldn't get this job done without it. That's for sure. These threads are absolutely hammered. I'm pretty amazed that I was actually able to get that stud out of there, though. I mean, it just goes to show how well this technique will work. Like I said, you don't need a MIG, or you don't need a TIG welder for it. If you don't have a welder and you're thinking about buying one, personally, I would just get a TIG. I mean, it's not as fast as a MIG welder is, but I mean, you can do anything. See, I originally bought my welder because I got sick and tired of trying to find people to fabricate aluminum tubing for intercoolers and, you know, stainless steel exhaust or whatever. So like, screw it, I'm just gonna go buy a welder. Saved up my money, and I bought my first one was a AHP Alpha TIG 200. And it worked great. It was a fantastic welder, but I found myself running out of duty cycle, so I upgraded to my Lincoln Squarewave 275. That's not Squarewave 275 is just an absolute workhorse of a machine. And the water-cooled torch is freaking incredible, especially when you step from an air-cooled and start welding heavy high-heat material. It's freaking awesome. Feels like it's getting a little dry. It looks like it does actually not bottom out. No, it does not bottom out, so it does go through. Either way, there's no way I would have been able to get a nut on the back side of that. Would have been impossible. So this ended up working out really good. Very, very happy with this. Clean that up. That's it. Now all I gotta do is go find a bolt to put it in. All cleaned up, ready to party. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to see. You want to see some fabrication? You guys want to see my project vehicles? Got two old Chevy crew cabs that I'm pretty much constantly working on. I still have my FJ. I did end up selling my Supra. Figured I'd just go back to old school. I've always wanted a crew cab, so I got an R20 and a K20 now, or a K30. So let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and hopefully you'll subscribe. Peace.